Hello and welcome to Cascade High School. My name is Lec Zorn and I'll be bringing you all the action as your resurgent Cascade Lady Cadets challenge the South Putnam Lady Eagles in Game 19 of the Indiana High School basketball season. Well, it's been a wild and crazy season for Cascade, one that started off 0-6 amid problems with offense, ball handling, rebounding, and overall chemistry, but has made a sensational turnaround with the team winning 9 of its subsequent 12 games, capped off with one of the most spectacular achievements in school history last night at Cloverdale. The Lady Clovers led 30-12 in the second quarter, but the Lady Cadets responded with an extraordinary 25-1 run and went on to win in double overtime by a score of 79-73. Tonight, Cascade tries to move above 500 for the first time all season against the team they beat 41 days ago in a game I think got their season on track for the first time. It was the afternoon of Saturday, December 16th, and the 3-8 Lady Cadets were visited by a painfully familiar opponent, the South Putnam Lady Eagles, who in a stunning upset beat Cascade right here on their home floor in the first game of last year's sectional, shattering what looked like it was going to be a dream season. This time, however, the Lady Cadets showed tremendous heart and determination, pulling out a 55-52 win after trailing in the fourth quarter. And keep in mind, South Putnam returned all 5 starters from last season's team. That was Cascade's first high-quality win of the season, and they followed it by winning 5 of their 6 games since then, with the only loss being 47-34 to Danville, currently the 9th-ranked team in Class 3A. Tonight in the Western Indiana Conference crossover game, the two teams play again in what very well could be a preview of a sectional matchup that takes place right here at Cascade the week after next. So will Cascade make it 2-for-2 against South Putnam on the season and establish a strong psychological edge? Or will the Lady Eagles even up the score and establish some momentum heading into the playoffs? There's only one way to find out. Cascade is led by 5'6" senior point guard Olivia Bryant, who's having a breakthrough season averaging 16.3 points, 2.9 assists, and 2.6 steals, all team highs. She's followed by 6' senior Hannah Rasnick with 14.5 points per game, 5'10" senior Amelia Bryant with 7.8 points and a team high 8.7 points per game, 6' senior Trinity Hostetler with 2 points and 5.2 rebounds per game, and 5'8" Taylor Norris, who has replaced Sophia Bryant in the starting lineup in the last few weeks and averages 4.6 points and 3.4 rebounds per game. Norris has shown a lot of signs of becoming the third offensive threat I've long said this team needs to make a deep tournament run. Meanwhile, South Putnam is led by 5'6" senior Lily Stein, who averages a team high of 14.8 points and a team high tying 3.5 steals per game, plus 4.7 rebounds per game. She's followed by 5'3" senior Miranda Beegler with 10.7 points and a team high 4.5 assists per game, as well as a team high tying 3.5 steals per game. 5'4" sophomore Lexi Van Isle with 10.2 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 steals per game. 5'8" junior Caitlin Capps with 7.5 points per game, as well as a team high 6.5 rebounds per game and 2 steals per game. And finally, 5'2" sophomore Alex Bratcher with 3.8 points per game. Cascade's head coach is David Carpenter, who's 42-24 in his third season with the Lady Cadets. South Putnam's head coach is Brian Gardner, who's 40-28 in his third season with the Lady Eagles. Well, at this time, we'll take a short break for a few words from our sponsors, and then we'll be back with the opening tip-off. Cascade South Putnam coming at you live next. The Cascade High School Athletic Department simply would not be able to operate without the financial support of our business partners. We would like to recognize and thank them for their generosity. The official health provider to the cadets, Hendricks Regional Health, Diamond Partners, Bestway Drywall, and North Salem State Bank, Platinum Partners, Allen Irrigation Company, CJ's Pizza, and Dunn Insurance Agency, Gold Partner Endeavor Communications, Silver Partner Electric Plus, and Bronze Partner Hankey Photography and DMH Photographics. Thank you, business partners. Your support of the student athletes of Cascade High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Clayton, we're just a few minutes away from tip-off. South Putnam has returned to the locker room for some final instructions. Meanwhile, Cascade is out on the floor. Some of the girls shooting baskets, some of the girls stretching. And I'll tell you, for those of you who the few of you who made the trip out to Cloverdale last night for the twice rescheduled date with the Lady Clovers really saw a game for the ages, maybe the most exciting Cascade game in history, and maybe the best comeback. Certainly one of the top several. It's one of the most dramatic. Cascade, for those of you who missed out on it, trailed South Putnam in the second quarter 30-18, then went on a 25-1 run spanning the second and third quarters. The teams traded the lead several times throughout the rest of regulation, and the first overtime before Cascade pulled away to win in the second overtime. And really, it was a game that really sums up what a comeback Cascade has made this season after the 0-6 start. Now, I remember, saying, early on when they were in the midst of that 6-game losing streak that started off the season, they were better than their record. That, a lot of the problem was that they, well, not a problem, but a lot of the reason for the record is that they were playing a very, very tough schedule, especially for a Class 2A team. And I did say that, that it would pay off playing all those tough teams. And for a point of reference, let's look at Cascade's schedule, who they've played and how well they've done. Now, Cascade, they've played 18 games coming into tonight. They're 3-1 against Class 2A teams, 6-6 against Class 3A teams. Keep in mind, Cascade's a 2A team. And then 0-2 against Class 4A teams. So, Cascade, for only a 2A team, to have only played 4 games in their class and 14 games against higher class teams, that's an amazing, act of courage. And it's something that really does pay off by making these girls better. And South Putnam, they have a record of 14-5, which sounds better than Cascade's 9-9. But let's break that down a little bit. South Putnam is 6-0 against Class 1A teams, 3-1 against fellow Class 2A teams, and 5-4 against Class 3A teams. So South Putnam has not played a single 4A team. Cascade's played 2, whereas South Putnam has played 6 Class 1A teams, and Cascade hasn't played any. So the strength of schedule clearly in Cascade's favor. And the last 2 times I commentated Cascade, I did, it was Northview and Northview, who was 13-6 at the time, and then Cloverdale, who was 15-3 at the time entering last night's game. And their, strength of schedule was similar to what South Putnam's is. And, Cascade, despite the inferior record, ended up winning both games. And, of course, they did beat South Putnam earlier this season, trying to make it 2-2 tonight. And fatigue could be a factor for Cascade tonight, as they played in a double overtime game last night. Although South Putnam is not a whole lot more rested, they did play two nights ago against Northview and lost to the Lady Knights 47-41. That's the same Lady Knights who Cascade beat a week ago Tuesday, 52-33. A game in which Cascade had maybe one of the best, well, I think definitely one of the best quarters in school history. They outscored the Lady Knights 17-0 in the fourth quarter. Just an extraordinary achievement. Cascade led only 35-33 going into the fourth quarter. And so certainly, strength of schedule does mean something. And, when everybody gets in the tournament and there's no seeding, it makes sense to toughen yourself up, get yourself ready for the tournament. And, my concern amid the 0-6 start was that it would break the confidence of the girls. But, clearly, if confidence was ever a problem, it is not anymore, especially after last night. A game in which I started off thinking that maybe, they had taken a foot off the accelerator after, entering the game, having won 8 of their last 11. And now, instead, it ended up being one of the most satisfying wins in school history. So, it's and at that we will pause for the national anthem.
those who currently protect it, and to honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Well, thank you to Cascade for that lovely rendition of the national anthem. Note from college basketball, Michigan State leading IU at the half, 42-23, a rough debut season for Archie Miller. We'll see if he gets it turned around. You know, I did like Tom Crean, but I think it just became painfully obvious last season that he was probably not going to get the program back, you know, to the upper echelons. We'll see if Archie Miller does. I was really hoping that Steve Alford would get the job, especially being that now that he's 53, I realized it was probably his last chance at the job. If, you know, I mean, Miller will probably be there at least several years, and by the time the job comes open again, Alford would probably be at the age where he would no longer be likely to get a major head coaching job. Once you get beyond your mid-50s or so, it's really tough because they generally want someone who they expect is going to be there for a long time. And another note from the Channel 13 app, it's been determined that Tom Petty died of an accidental overdose. It doesn't say overdose of what, so I'll have to open the article and check it out. But right now, back to basketball here. But, you know, I really, the jury's obviously still out on Archie Miller, but I'm really pleased with what Matt Painter has done at Purdue. I mean, you know, I think he was the right guy for the job to replace Gene Cady 13 years ago, and I like that he's done it with integrity, at least as far as I can tell. He's done it clean. No one-and-dones. He's getting guys who understand that college basketball is, you know, about college, and still, you know, doing very well. So now teams take the floor to start. We have Trinity Hostetler jumping for Cascade, and we have Caitlin Capps jumping for South Putnam. Cascade controls the tip. Olivia coming off her sensational 34 points last night in the double overtime thriller at Cloverdale. We'll see, you know, how much she has in the tank for tonight. Keep in mind the Lady Cadets have a game in less than 24 hours, 1:30 p.m. tomorrow against Class 4A Team Plainfield. Olivia no good on 3 to start off the game. Her three-point shooting has been off lately, although overall she's played very, very well. So now for South Putnam, and near steal there, by the way, Lily Stein was the ball handler. Now Miranda Beegler has it, pitches it out, fakes on a 3, drives to the baseline, and now it's near steal there, but Miranda Beegler, and now we do have a steal there. I think that was Amelia. Oh, bad pass through Olivia's hands, and it was intercepted there by Stein, a very dominant small player. And now a three-pointer from the right perimeter, no good. Struggle for the rebound, and it's controlled by Lexi Van Isle. So now fake on a 3 there, pitches out to Alex Bratcher, She gives it back to Caitlin Capps. Now a fake on the three by Stein, no good. Rebound there by Amelia Bryant. She brings it up, still no score, and nearly a minute and a half in. Now Amelia takes it back out, pitches inside. Gives it over to Olivia, the team's MVP on the season. So now Trinity Hostetler, wild pass, nearly went away, but Hannah Rasnake saved it. Now knocked out of bounds to Cascade, 6:13 to go, no score here. This, by the way, I neglected to say it in the pregame. I think I did anyway, neglected to say it. Well, now, hold on. Patch inside, and a shot knocked out of bounds to Cascade. I thought from my vantage point there might have been some contact, but the ref had a better look at it than I did, so I'll take his word for it. Now pitch inside. Long three, no good. And rebound there by Van Isle. Yeah, Van Isle only 5'4", but already 2 rebounds here in the early going. So now Stein drives, and she gets around her defender. And so South Putnam opens the scoring a little over 2 minutes into the game. And now she gets a steal and lays in another one. So Stein with 4 quick points a few seconds apart. Cascade's got it. I know they're tired from last night, but they got to take care of the ball. So now a fake on a three, then puts one up, no good. So Cascade's already attempted at least 3 shots from three-point range here in the first 3 minutes of the game. None of them have scored. And now a drive to the basket, puts it up, draws the foul. You know, hold on. That's on Olivia. They got to keep her out of foul trouble. So now Sophia coming into the game for Cascade. Replacing Taylor Norris. And now a baseline jumper, uncontested. No good, however. However, it's tipped right over to Van Isle, who lays it in. So it's a 6-0 South Putnam lead. Again, Cascade played a double overtime game last night. Now we got a foul at the other end. I don't know if I couldn't tell if she was taking a shot or throwing a pass. It's going to be on Stein. Okay, the ruling that Amelia Bryant was in the act of shooting. Okay. Now, we really struggled from the free throw line last night, which is one reason why the game went into double overtime. Hopefully we'll do better tonight. Amelia hits the first one. 6-1. That was Cascade's first point coming 3 minutes and 1 second into the game. So Amelia for the second one. It is up. No good. So it's a 6-1 game in favor of South Putnam. Cascade came from 18 down to win last night, but, you don't want to have to make that kind of comeback, on a regular basis. And now in and out on a three-pointer by Stein. Amelia, the rebound, gives it to Olivia. Pressing defense by South Putnam. And now, but she travels. So now Carly Gibbs, a 5'10 sophomore coming in for Trinity Hostetler. Gibbs has had, a few good games. She started the JV game tonight, but she's had a few good varsity games off the bench this season. And now a steal there by Cascade. Now gives it up to Hannah, who brings it up slowly. Now passes over to Amelia. Now Hannah fakes a three, drives to the basket, puts it up, and draws the foul. Foul is on Capps. Hannah only hold on. Hold that thought. Hannah is no good after a few bounces. Although Hannah is one of the better free throw shooters on the team, 78% through 17 games. But we got to hit the bulk of our free throws tonight. Hannah does hit the second. So she and Amelia each with 1 point, and it's a 6-2 South Putnam lead. 4:10 to go here in the first quarter. And now a three-pointer from the corner by Stein. No good. Rebound there by, I couldn't tell who got it, but I thought there was quite a bit of contact with no foul. Now Olivia takes it all the way in herself. It looks like I think her shot was blocked. So South Putnam controls the rebound. Stein brings it back up. She's a very dominant player, especially for her size. She drives to the basket, puts it up, and in. So Lily Stein has 6 of her team's 8 points. It's an 8-2 South Putnam lead. Olivia brings it up now. South Putnam playing very tough defense. Drive to the basket, and we got a foul. I hope Cascade, will drive a lot tonight and not rely too much on the three. Carly Gibbs now going to the free throw line. Her first one is up and good. So all of Cascade's points so far are on free throws. And she misses the second one. So it's 6-3. Excuse me, 8-3, excuse me. So now on the other end, Van Isle, turnaround jumper, no good. Katie Cleveland, the rebound, gives it up to Olivia. Olivia now at the right perimeter. Well, it looks like she got, I thought there was a foul. I think she got fouled by 2 players, but she takes it in and draws the contact. So I think that's at least 3 times on that trip down court when, a foul reasonably could have been called. So Olivia hits the first. 34 last night. Let's see what she does tonight. She hits them both. Good. She really struggled from the line last night, though she did hit a few clutch free throws late. 8-5 now. And now South Putnam throws it away. It'll be Cascade ball. So now Olivia brings it up. Passes over. And now the steal there. I thought she stepped on the line, but no foul was called. But the trying to score on a fast break, but it's tipped out of bounds. And it's okay to Cascade. Good. So Cascade with the ball now, trailing by 3. It's 8-5. Cascade has not hit a field goal yet. Now a drive to the basket, and there's a whistle. Let's see if it was a block or a charge. So Cascade driving a lot. Hopefully they'll get South Putnam in foul trouble. Last night in the double overtime game at Cloverdale, 3 Lady Clovers did foul out. So Olivia on her first free throw. She hit it. 3 for 3 for Olivia to start off the game. So it's 8-6 now. Olivia second, and it's good. So Olivia 4 for 4 start from the line. That's a very good sign. And it's 8-7 now. South Putnam 5-0 lead by the 5-0 run by the Lady Cadets, and we got timeout. South Putnam. So tight game. When these two teams played here, it was a very tight, very tense game. I think it's going to be again tonight. This, like I said, these two teams. Last season, South Putnam beat Cascade right here at Cascade in the first in Cascade's first sectional game, the semifinal round, 63-52, after Cascade had won 68-46 at South Putnam in the regular season. Then this December 16th, Cascade beat beat South Putnam 55-52 when a half-court shot at the buzzer by Caitlin Capps fell short. And it's a game in which, as I say, I lost both my voice and my mind. You gotta, if you ever want good entertainment, listen to my call of the end of that game. I totally went super crazy. So now Stein fakes a jump shot, pitches over now, and now the ball comes loose, and Cascade's got it, but we got a whistle here with 2:08 to go here in the first quarter. 8-7 South Putnam lead. Now pitches in a three-pointer. No good. Rebound by, I believe it was Amelia. Yes, it was Amelia. She gives it over to Hannah. Cascade's been driving and getting to the line. Already there's 7 points all on free throws. If they can get to the line a lot tonight, hit their free throws, get South Putnam in foul trouble, that could go a long way toward getting a victory. Oh, and there's some contact there. And an over and back violation. And now a jump shot, no good. South Putnam's gotten cold from the field. Now Amelia brings it up. Gives it over to Hannah. Hannah now drives in and puts it off the glass and hits it. So the first, finally coming nearly 7 minutes into the game, the first Cascade field goal, and they take their first lead, 9-8. And now a fake on a three-pointer. So Aubrey Hill now handling the ball. She's a sophomore for South Putnam. Now we got a wide open three there, and it's good. That was Van Isle. She has 5, and it's an 11-9 lead for South Putnam. Now Amelia takes it down to the baseline, pitches back out. I believe that's Emma Parsons with the ball. Now Hannah fakes a three, drives into the lane, pitches across to Amelia for three. No good. Trinity tries to chase down the rebound, and it goes out of bounds to Cascade. 41.5 seconds to go here in the first quarter. So now Olivia back in the game. It'd be nice if we could get her some rest, but chances are she's going to have to be there pretty close to the whole 32 minutes. So Olivia with the ball now. Pitches over to Trinity at the right perimeter. Now Trinity dribbles, pitches over to Hannah, fakes a three, drives into the lane, turns around, puts it up, no good, hits the bottom of the rim. Rebound South Putnam, 24 seconds to go here in the quarter. And now Briegler with the ball. Stein now with 13 seconds to go. Gives it over to Biegler. Now inside, and she tries to find number 4 there. Now a shot just inside the three-point line, no good, and that's the end of the quarter. So after one quarter of play here at Clayton, your score, South Putnam 9, Cascade 11. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors on audiosportsonline.com. The Cascade High School Athletic Department simply would not be able to operate without the financial support of our business partners. We would like to recognize and thank them for their generosity. The official health provider to the cadets, Hendricks Regional Health, Diamond Partners, Bestway Drywall, and North Salem State Bank, Platinum Partners, Allen Irrigation Company, CJ's Pizza, and Dunn Insurance Agency, Gold Partner Endeavor Communications, Silver Partner Electric Plus, and Bronze Partner Hankey Photography and DMH Photographics. Thank you, business partners. Your support of the student-athletes of Cascade High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Clayton, we're about to start the second quarter here with your Cascade Lady Cadets trailing the South Putnam Lady Eagles by a score of 11-9. It's a game in which both both teams have shot very coldly from the field. But Lily Stein has 6 and Lexi Van Isle 5 for South Putnam, and they have the leads. Cascade hit only one field goal there in the first quarter. That was a layup by Hannah Rasnake with under 2 minutes left. However, and now a wide open layup there by Aubrey Hill with her first points. So Cloverdale now all of a sudden on a 5-0 run since Cascade took its only lead of the game so far. Now a long three by Olivia, no good. And not really crazy about Olivia putting up as many threes as she does. But nevertheless, she has had overall a great season, certainly tremendously increased her college stock. And now a blitzing Cascade defense, nearly got a steal there. And now the double team Van Isle. She's down in the corner now, pitches away. And now South Putnam starting to look a little frantic in their ball handling, but the Beagler drives to the basket, no good, and it goes out of bounds to Cascade with 7:10 to go here in the second quarter. South Putnam leading 13-9. So Olivia brings it up. Cross court over to Hannah. Another behind the back dribble. Hannah had several of those last night as well. Gives it back to Olivia near midcourt. Gives it to Amelia. Now back to Olivia. Now fake on a three. And now pitches back out to Olivia. Puts up a three. No good. However, Trinity gets the rebound. Gives it to Olivia. Now over to, I think that's Amelia there on the right perimeter now. Gives it back out. Olivia gets it now. Now pitches down in the corner. Now tries to set a pick. And now over to Hannah. And now we've got a whistle here. Let's see what the call is. It's going to be on Beagler. That's so now Lily Stein coming back in. Allie Nichols sitting down for South Putnam. Yeah, South Putnam actually does not list the heights on their roster, so I have to look the heights up on Max Preps. So now Amelia drives to the and puts it up, no good. Fight over the rebound. It's the jump ball possession arrow favors Cascade. 6:11 to go here. So now Carly Gibbs sitting down for Cascade. She scored a point on a free throw. And now inbounds to Olivia. Nearly loses control. And I think they got her for a push-off. If so, that's her second. They got to be careful. They got to make sure she doesn't get her third here in the second quarter. South Putnam's up by 4. They've led by as many as 6. Cascade had one lead at 9-8, but has not scored since. Now drive to the basket. No good. Cascade comes with the rebound. They have rebounded well. Now on the other end of the court. Drives up. No contact, but Trinity gets it, puts it up, no good. And now, let's see, that was Van Isle who came away with the rebound. No, a wide open three by Stein. No good. Rebound there, fight over it, and we got a jump ball this time. Possession arrow favors South Putnam with 5:35 to go. Hannah Rasnake back into the game now. Seems like Coach Carpenter. Now a wide open three by Stein, no good. Rebound there by Trinity, and another jump ball. This time possession arrow favors Cascade. It seems to me that Coach Carpenter is substituting more often than usual, and that very well could be in response to the game having been so exhausting last night. Maybe he's trying to make sure that he keeps the girls on who are in the game fresh. And now a three-pointer, no good by Hannah, but Cascade gets the nice offensive rebound. I believe it was Amelia who chased it down. And now she drives to the basket, pitches out to Trinity. Now hands it off. Three-pointer from the corner. No good after 3 or 4 bounces. And now Beegler brings it up, pauses, then drives toward the basket. Now pitches back out. It goes through her hands, though, and it's nearly stolen there. And now a jump shot by Van Isle, no good, however. And it's kicked by South Putnam. It hit the foot of number 4 while she was trying to chase down the rebound, so it will be Cascade ball. So Carly Gibbs now coming back in for Cascade. I believe it's Sophia Bryant who's sitting down. No, Amelia. And now, wow, I thought Beegler got away with a foul there, and going for that steal. So Juliana Schmidt coming in now. And now Katie Cleveland coming in as well. Sophia Bryant sitting down. So yeah, the heavy substitutions continue. And we'll see what effect that has on chemistry. Trinity Hostetler sitting down as well. So now pitch into Hannah in the backcourt. So Hannah with the ball now. Pitches down to the corner. Sets a pick. Now pass over to Katie behind the three-point arc. She's hit a few three-pointers this season, amazingly. Now Hannah drives toward the basket, pitches back out to the, I believe it's Carly Gibbs, as the ball drives in, puts it up off the glass. She hits it! No, Juliana Schmidt, Schmidt with her first points. Cuts the lead to 2. First Cascade points of the quarter. Only the second Cascade field goal of the game. They trail 13-11. Now drive to the basket, no good. Cascade comes away with the rebound. Down by 2. Let's take your time, get a good shot. So Hannah brings it past midcourt now. Nice behind-the-back dribble. I believe it's Schmidt who has it now. Pitches across court to Hannah. Fakes the 3. Drives in. Puts it up. No good. Cascade controls the rebound. And no, but it's taken out of her hands, though. By Van Isle, gives it up to Beegler for 3. In and out. And Katie get the rebound. And now it's taken out of her hands, though. But to a Cascade player, but she wasn't paying attention, and Stein stole it from behind. And now Beegler in and out on a 3. South Putnam's gone stone cold from the field. Goes out of bounds to Cascade. Juliana Schmidt for Cascade. One of 2 freshmen who's played some varsity ball this year. Emma Parsons has as well. Both have, shown, a few. They both have had a few nice moments in varsity games. So they, give us some hope for next season in which we're going to, lose these 7 seniors. So Katie Cleveland with the ball. And now pitches over to, can't tell who it is. I apologize. Now a 3 by Katie. She hit it! All right. Katie with the 3, and we're in the lead. Only the second time today, and that's the first three-pointer by Cascade in the game. And now we've got a reach in. That was a foolish foul there. That was Amelia. Very, very silly foul. But nevertheless, Cascade hanging in there. 2:33 to go here in the second quarter against South Putnam. These two teams suddenly fierce rivals. What a difference a year makes. I'll explain more a little later on. So now inbounds pass. Three-pointer there, no good. And Cascade the rebound. Amelia brings it up. 2:18 to go. We got the lead in the ball. Now come on, let's just be methodical. Play smart. And work for a good shot. Oh, and they're a kicked ball on a steal attempt, and still Cascade ball. 2:11 to go. 14-13 Lady Cadets. Only 3 field goals by Cascade, the most recent of which being an improbable 3 by Katie Cleveland. She had one, I believe it was the Northview game a week ago Tuesday. And now inside to Amelia. She puts it up. She hits it. Amelia Bryant with 3 now. And Cascade has their biggest lead of the game, 16-13, 152 to go now in the quarter. So now down to Lily Stein at the baseline. She puts it up, draws the foul. So Lily Stein will be going to shoot 2 free throws. Stein, like Olivia Bryant, a 5'6", senior whose college stock has soared this season. Stein scored, but she's no good on the free throw, however. But yeah, Lily Stein, a player who just is incredibly tough, plays much beyond her 5'6" height. You know, when you're 5'6", all that thought. And now she misses them both. So, and Cascade gets the rebound. So Carly Gibbs passes. Missed communication, though, and it's stolen there by number 4, who drives in, puts it up. No good, however. Cascade gets the rebound. Lucky break for the Lady Cadets. Only 2 points by South Putnam here in the second quarter. So Cascade leading 16-13, 1:20 to go before halftime. Very low scoring game. And now a drive to the basket, and it's knocked out of bounds to South Putnam. 1:09 to go. So Beegler brings it up for South Putnam. Gives it to Stein. A minute to go in the quarter. Now Stein pitches it off. And now a right-handed hook. No good. Put back up. No good. And now fight over the rebound and the possession. It's a jump ball. Possession arrow favors South Putnam with 50.7 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Coming to you live at Clayton. My name is Lec Zorn, the voice of Cascade Sports here on audiosportsonline.com. Sophia Bryant now coming back in for triplet sister Amelia. And now a near steal on the inbounds pass, but now drive to the basket, no good. It's I thought there was some contact, but it's ruled a clean block. And now Stein fakes a 3, drives inside the lane, a hook from the free throw line. She hits it. So finally ending the South Putnam drought. Cascade still leads, 32 seconds to go. I think they ought to hold it for the last shot. Oh, but a bad pass, and Stein steals it, and she drives it all the way in and hits it. That was just very, very poor ball handling there. No excuse for that. And now all of a sudden South Putnam leads, 15 seconds to go in the half. Drive to the basket, tries to get contact, but doesn't, but gets the rebound back. 5 seconds left. They got to get something going. 3. I don't think she realizes how much time's left. Puts up a 3. No good off the rim. So a tight first half. Sloppy first half. Cascade gives up a couple of late baskets, and they go into the locker room with a 1-point deficit to South Putnam, 17-16. We'll be back with the first half recap after these words from our sponsors on audiosportsonline.com. The Cascade High School Athletic Department simply would not be able to operate without the financial support of our business partners. We would like to recognize and thank them for their generosity. The official health provider to the cadets, Hendricks Regional Health. Diamond Partners, Bestway Drywall, and North Salem State Bank. Platinum Partners, Allen Irrigation Company, CJ's Pizza, and Dunn Insurance Agency. Gold Partner, Endeavor Communications. Silver Partner, Electric Plus. Bronze Partner, Hankey Photography, and DMH Photographics. Thank you, business partners. Your support of the student-athletes of Cascade High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Clayton, we're at halftime with your Cascade Lady Cadets trailing the South Putnam Lady Eagles by a score of 17-16. It was a very sloppy first half. Not surprisingly, Cascade played a double overtime game last night, while South Putnam had a close loss the night before to Northview. So let's anyway take a look at the individual scoring for South Putnam. Lily Stein leads all scorers with 10. Lexi Van Isle has 5, and Aubrey Hill has 2. Meanwhile, for Cascade, Olivia Bryant, the leading scorer as usual, but only 4 points. Meanwhile, Amelia Bryant has 3, Hannah Rasnake has 3, Katie Cleveland has 3, Juliana Schmidt has 2, and Carly Gibbs has 1. So basically, this is a game in which Cascade has they've played hard, but they've had an extremely high number of substitutions, probably resulting from having played. Probably Coach Carpenter's response to having the team having gone to a grueling double overtime game last night, which they did win, but had to expend a lot of energy in doing so, and then having a 1:30 game tomorrow afternoon against a Class 4A team. Now, of course, it's not usual for a high school basketball team to have a game on 3 consecutive days. That was not the schedule. Cascade was scheduled to play Cloverdale last Friday at Cloverdale as part of a boys-girls varsity doubleheader. The game was postponed because of bad weather, postponed to Monday, and then it was on Monday we had more bad weather, so it was postponed to last night. The girls' portion was. The boys' portion will be next Tuesday night at Cloverdale. So certainly, considering that Cascade has not played their starters as much as usual, it's really not bad that they're only down by 1 to South Putnam. And South Putnam has played their starters more, but their shooting has mostly been ice cold. Stein does have 10 points, but 4 of them were on were converted off of steals. So Cascade, they've got to take care of the ball. They just have not done that, well enough tonight. And if they do in the second half, I still think they have a good shot to win this game. And we beat South Putnam once this season, so obviously we can do it again. It's very likely we're going to play them in the playoffs. And if we win this game and we play them in the playoffs and we're 2-0 against them, I don't know if that would make our chances better or worse. Maybe we would really get in their heads and it would shake their confidence, or maybe they would really intently study the game tape of the 2 games that we beat them and come up with a better game plan. I mean, after all, last year we beat them by 22 in the regular season at their place. They came out with a superior game plan that our girls just seem to be totally unprepared for. And so, if I knew the answers to things like this, I'd be a millionaire. I could sell all my tips to coaches, but I don't know what effect it'll have. If Cascade were to win tonight and the 2 teams played in the playoffs, maybe that would play into Cascade's favor, or maybe they would get overconfident, having beaten them twice. I can't imagine they would take South Putnam lightly after what happened in the sectional last season, though. And I have noticed one thing I will give Cascade probably an A+ for is rebounding effort. I mean, they have been going ferociously after rebounds tonight. Certainly remembering the 12 offensive rebounds they gave up to South Putnam. That was one of the biggest keys to South Putnam's win last year in that very painful loss. Painful loss for us. So, but I just say you just always got to play to win, You got to get in good habits, and now's the time to do it. Last night it was awesome that we came back from 18 down to beat Cloverdale, but like I said then, and I cannot emphasize enough, it's great when you get the amazing comeback, but amazing comebacks are not always available. There's an old expression, it's cliche, but it's so true, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And while there's a lot of truth to that statement, I really think it's, I think it's grossly understated. I think it's more like, a milligram of prevention is worth, 20 trillion tons of cure. So now with just under 4 minutes to go in the halftime clock, South Putnam returns to the court. Cascade has not returned yet. So, Coach Carpenter, probably a lot to talk to his girls about. Obviously, this is uncharted territory. Knowing what to do. How to pace your team when they play 3 games in less than 48 hours. But certainly it would be great to get the win tonight. And another thing about it, last night brought us to 500 for the first time all season, so a win tonight would put us over 500 for the first time all season, and that would feel so good. I really want us to have a winning regular season record after the, I think coming off the 0-6 start, that would feel so good. But more than anything else, I want us to do something in the tournament this year. And I still think we have a shot to win the sectional. We've beaten the 2 teams that I think, the 2. I think it's a 2-tier sectional. I think it's us, South Putnam, and Cloverdale in the top tier. I think Monrovia, North Putnam, and Western Boone, I'd rank significantly below the other 3 teams. And we've beaten the other 2 top-tier teams in the sectional, so certainly we can win the sectional. I'm not going to guarantee it like I practically did last year and end up with, end up disappointed, end up making a bold prediction that doesn't come true. But I say if we stay focused, if we bring our A game, play Eye of the Tiger 32 minutes every night, we have a good chance to win the sectional, which would be our first in 11 years, only 3rd in school history. And certainly, these seniors, these 7, young ladies who are going to play their final regular season home game next Tuesday night against Avon, it would be great if they closed out their career with a sectional championship, especially winning the sectional championship here on their home floor. And, it would be a little bit bittersweet thinking about what could have been last year. When last year we would have had a better shot to go beyond merely the sectional championship. Last year, especially, since Triton Central, who was our likely regional opponent, was beaten in an upset in the sectional, we really would have had a shot to, really to win the regional last year. And then, once, we did that, we would have only needed 1 more win to be playing for the Class 2A state championship. So now Cascade's back. Little under a minute. They are only down by 1 despite, not playing a very good first half, like probably a C minus performance. And certainly, you got a grade on the curve after, the double overtime game last night. But at the same time, though, you want to save something for Plainfield tomorrow as well. Plainfield knocking on the door of a top 25 ranking in Class 4A. We have a good crowd tonight. Not a great crowd, but a good crowd, who are enjoying the warm weather. Certainly the cold weather has affected attendance at some games this season. It was really nice outside today. By contrast, I think it got up to be about 40 after, several days of sub-zero temperatures this year. So now starting off, they put 8 minutes on the clock now. So now Cascade will be playing at my end of the court, shooting at my end of the court in this half, so I should be able to decipher the players a little better. I have a very hard time because their numbers are so pale when they wear their home uniforms. Their road uniforms, no problem. So now, Taylor Norris over to Olivia Bryant. Now, cross court to Olivia, puts up a 3. In and out. And we got a foul, though. Let's see. Who's it against? Okay, it's on Lexi Van Isle. That's her first. Olivia goes to the line for 3. She hit 4 for 4 on free throws in the first half. This one is up, and it's good. We're tied. Olivia with the team high 5 now. 17-17 your score. 7:40 to go here in the third quarter at Clayton. Second free throw is up. No good off the front of the rim. Still 5 for 6 is a welcome improvement. Olivia only about a 60% free throw shooter on the season. The third one, no good. Only made 1 of 3, but she did tie the score at least. Stein brings it up, 7:34 to go. So now Van Isle fakes a 3 at the right perimeter. Then looks, it pitches inside, but it mishandled and knocked out of bounds, however, to Cascade. I thought it was last touched by Caitlin Capps, but it was ruled South Putnam ball. So Stein to inbound. Pitches inside. Now puts it up. She hits it, and she hits it, and she's fouled. So Caitlin Capps with her first points. So South Putnam goes back up by 2. Caitlin Capps goes to the line. The foul on Trinity Hostetler, her second. First Cascade foul of the half. No good on the free throw. Olivia brings it up. Cascade trailing by 2. Taylor Norris back to Olivia. Now over to Hannah. Back to now. Olivia has it there on the left perimeter. Pitches over to Amelia. Now over to Trinity. Over to Taylor. Oh, and a steal by Stein. They got to stop. And now Stein drives to the other end, puts it up. No good. Fight for the rebound. Cascade comes away with it. Lucky break for the Lady Cadets. Now they got to take care of the basket. Oh, no, she just wasn't paying attention. They've got to start. Taylor Norris was just completely not paying attention there, and Stein came up and got it. Now we got a wide open 3. No good. And then Trinity tries to chase down the rebound. It gets tipped out of bounds to South Putnam. But Cascade, they've got to start paying attention. I mean, usually they do, but they've had a couple of very bad lapses in this game. I mean, I'm trying to consider that, they did have a double overtime game last night, but, that doesn't excuse not paying attention. So now, Van Isle left wide open for 3. No good. And Amelia the rebound. Couple of South Putnam players made a good effort at it, but, Amelia forcefully maintained control of the ball. So now Hannah pitches over to Olivia for 3 from the corner. No good. Cascade the rebound, however. And now drive to the basket, puts it up off the glass. No good. And this time Stein comes away with the rebound. Drives down and now pitches over to Beegler, puts it up and in. Beegler with her first points. And South Putnam goes back up by 4. So now it's an 8-1. It's an 8-1 run by Cascade. Now they leave however, I believe that was Taylor. Yeah, Taylor wide open for the easy lay-in, so it cuts the lead to 2. Taylor with her first points. 21-19 your score. Stein with the ball, 5:14 to go here in the third quarter. Gives it over to Capps, who lays it in. Capps with 4. So now Hannah brings it past midcourt. Now puts up a long 3. No good. Not a good shot selection. And now near a steal, but there's a foul. Hopefully not. No, it's going to be. I think they said that the South Putnam player stepped on the line. So South Putnam's had several chances to pull away, but, failed to capitalize, and they've let Cascade hang in there. Your score now 23-19. And now a steal there by Van Isle. She's got an easy layup, and she hits it. Might be a good time to get a timeout now. Van Isle with 7. And now a drive to the basket. Puts it up off the glass. No good. And put over the foul on the putback. So Trinity will be going to the line. Now, a 6-point lead with a little over a quarter and a half to play is far from insurmountable, but Cascade's got to get something going here. They have not shown a lot of signs of life tonight. Trinity, good on the first free throw after rolling around a couple of times. So now Schmidt coming in for Norris. 8 Lady Cadets have scored, but Olivia is the leader with only 5. No good on the free throw, but Cascade nearly got the rebound, but failed. Good effort, though. Stein brings it up. Gives it over to Beegler. Now Beegler drives up, and no good. Trinity the rebound. So Olivia brings it past midcourt. So Amelia with the ball now spins around, pitches out, 3-pointer from the corner. No good. And nice effort to chase it down there by Juliana Schmidt, the freshman, but out of bounds to South Putnam, 3:49 to go. Cascade not showing a lot of spark tonight, understandably, after, again, had this game, had the Cloverdale game been played as scheduled last Friday, and Cascade, would be playing its first game in, 6 days, it very well could be a different story. Now a jump ball possession arrow favors South Putnam. But, yeah, it very well could be a different story. And Cascade still could come back to win. I mean, South Putnam has not played particularly well tonight, and now we got a foul there. It was inbounded there to Caps, who was fouled in the act of shooting. That's going to be on Amelia, her second. No good. So South Putnam leading 25-20 here with 3:31 to go here in the third quarter. Hannah Rasnick coming back into the game now. But truth be told, I mean, Cascade's had a couple of lapses tonight, but mainly I think I think fatigue is as Caps hits the second one. She has 5 now. I think fatigue is a factor, but I think also it's probably a little bit harder to play with all the mass substitutions. And now, while they're really harassing him, I think it was Hannah there who had the ball. Olivia now with the ball near midcourt. Now Sophia inside over to Olivia for 3. She hit it! Olivia with 8 now, cutting the lead to 3. We're still in this. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. And now Beegler takes it down, and no. Let's see what the call is. There's a whistle here. Team foul on Cadets team foul on Olivia Bryant. That's her third. She's probably going to sit down now. No. Well, yes, she is. Well, no, it looked like she was, then wasn't, then was, then wasn't. And now she's staying in the game. It looks like she was had some uncertainty about whether she was going to be taken out or not. Now, jumper from the baseline is good by Beegler. She has 4, pushing the South Putnam lead back up to 5. 2:44 to go here in the third quarter. Baseline jumper there, no good. Rebound put back up and in by Schmidt. She has 4. Nice game by the freshman. She cuts the lead to 3. 2:30 to go here in the third quarter at Clayton. Beegler handling the ball now. Lady Cadets in a 2-3 zone. And now inside to Caps. Hook shot is good. Caps with 7. Lead goes back up to 5. Sloppy pass, but it's knocked out of bounds to Cascade. Cascade's made several sloppy plays tonight that South Putnam has failed to capitalize on. So now Caps sitting down. Hill coming in for South Putnam. 2:11 to go in the third quarter. South Putnam leading 30-25. Olivia brings it past midcourt. Over to Trinity. Now to Olivia near the corner, coming off a pick. Now pitches inside, puts it up off the glass. No good. Gets her own rebound, puts it up, and she's fouled. That's going to be on number 4 for South Putnam, whose name is not on the roster. Schmidt on the free throw, in and out. We got to hit our free throws. Now Bratcher coming in, Beagler sitting down for South Putnam. Schmidt hits the second one. She has 5. 1:52 to go. South Putnam with the ball and a 4-point lead here late in the third quarter. And now a lay-in there by Stein. She has a game-high 12. Now the pitch is across the court, and now near steal there. Back to Olivia. Hannah with the ball in the corner now. Coming off a pick. Doesn't get free, those. She drives now, spins around, puts it up. No good. And now fights for the rebound, and we got a jump ball. Possession arrow favors Cascade. Carpenter looks like he's pleading for a foul there. There did appear to be some contact. So now Hannah to inbound. Having trouble getting it in. She might have to call a timeout. Oh, she forced it in, but nearly stolen, but Sophia comes away with it. Another near turnover. Now 3 by Olivia. No good. Rebounded by Stein. She brings it up herself. Tries to take it coast to coast. She does. Stein with 14. And now it's a game-high 8-point lead for South Putnam. 35 seconds to go. Olivia with the ball. Now Hannah spins around, pitches back out to Olivia. 15 seconds to go in the third quarter. She gives it over to Schmidt now. Now to Trinity, now over to Olivia. 5 seconds left. Olivia trying to get free. She drives to the basket, puts it up. She draws the foul. So Olivia will be going to the line for 2 with 2.7 seconds to go in the third quarter. Cascade trailing by 8. I'll tell you, I was just thinking, in the last few minutes, Cascade drove like crazy in the first quarter, got 7 points off of free throws. And I think maybe it's hurt them that they've, gotten away from that strategy and taken more outside shots. But now Olivia at the free throw line. Her first one is up and good. She has 9. Cutting the lead to 7. Well, if she hits this one, it'll be down to 6. And now we got a whistle here before Olivia attempts the second one. Apparently there was, I don't know what I guess maybe a lane violation. But anyway, 3-pointer at the buzzer, no good by Stein. So, after 3 quarters of play here at Clayton, your Cascade Lady Cadets in danger of their first loss in over 2 weeks. They trail the South Putnam Lady Eagles by a score of 34-27 here on AudioSportsOnline.com. The Cascade High School Athletic Department simply would not be able to operate without the financial support of our business partners. We would like to recognize and thank them for their generosity. The official health provider to the cadets, Hendricks Regional Health, Diamond Partners, Bestway Drywall at North Salem State Bank, Platinum Partners, Allen Irrigation Company, CJ's Pizza and Dunn Insurance Agency, Gold Partner Endeavor Communications, Silver Partner Electric Plus, and Bronze Partner Hankey Photography and DMH Photographics. Thank you, business partners. Your support of the student athletes of Cascade High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Clayton, we're about to start the fourth quarter with your Cascade Lady Cadets with a letdown, disappointingly, but very, very, very understandably after their grueling double overtime win last night over Cloverdale. They currently trail the South Putnam Lady Eagles by a score of 34-27. It's a game in which, Cascade looks like a team that played a double overtime game last night. So, and it's important to remember they have an afternoon game against a Class 4A team, a very good Class 4A team, Plainfield, tomorrow. So now, start off the quarter, underneath to Stein, she puts it up, she hits it, and she's fouled. So South Putnam now having seized firm control of this game with 7:50 to go. They have a 9-point lead. Stein with 16. And the contingency of fans from South Putnam, there's about 100 of them. There are about as many South Putnam fans as Cascade fans here. South Putnam just 15 miles down the road. These two teams both on US 40, 15 miles apart. South Putnam at the corner of US 40 and US 231. Stein no good on the free throw. So Cascade trailing by very bad pass trying to set up. I think it was trying to set up Hannah under the basket, but it was just way too far over her head. So it'll be interesting to see, since the team does have a 1:30 game tomorrow against a good Class 4A team, how long will Coach Carpenter keep pressing? We'll see. 7:36 to go, and South Putnam has taken a full timeout. I've been meaning to say this the whole broadcast, haven't gotten around to it yet, but you might wonder, well, why are South Putnam and Cascade playing twice in the season? Well, the Western Indiana Conference has a way of determining, and they do this for football too, of determining their conference champion. During the regular season, after everybody's played all their conference games, the top team, the team with the best record in each of the two divisions in conference games plays each other for the conference championship. Meanwhile, the second place teams from each division play the third place teams and fourth place teams, so on. So anyway, Cascade and South Putnam finished the same position in their respective divisions, so that's why they are playing in what is known as the Western Indiana Conference or WIC crossover game. And, like I said, they very well could be playing in the sectional, which begins a week from Tuesday. I think the pairings are going to be announced this Sunday. I've been looking on the internet the last couple of weeks for confirmation on the date and to see if there's going to be like some kind of broadcast where they're announced. Anyway, I will be announcing the pairings the first broadcast after they're announced. So now Beegler with the ball, and we got a foul. I think they got her for a push-off. 7:29 to go, so good break for Cascade. They got to get something going. They got to capitalize. Olivia has 8. Nobody else has more than 5 for Cascade. Olivia did have 34 last night in the double overtime win. So now Olivia, guarded by Beegler, pitches over now. I believe it's Gibbs who has it, gives it back to Olivia. Gibbs with the ball now. Patches over to Hannah. She reverses, and now the girl guarding her falls down. Hannah puts it up, however, no good. Rebound by Caps. So missed opportunity for Cascade. 6:51 to go now. They trail by 9. This game now is South Putnam's to lose. Caps now lays it in. She has 9, and it's the first double-figure lead for South Putnam on the game. And now South Putnam trying to go in, stick in the dagger, going for some steals here very aggressively. So Carly Gibbs with the ball now, 6:24 to go. Cascade trailing by 11. Carly takes it in and lays it in. Her first field goal, she has 3 on the game, cutting the lead back to single figures, so 6:19 to go. Cascade still with an outside shot. They got to get some offense going, though. Got to get some offense going. And I'll tell you one key play. Cascade had, they had it 16-15 leading in the final 30 seconds of the first half, and all they had to do was hold for the last shot, to make sure they could, took the lead into the locker room. And then, there was a bad pass that was stolen by Stein, and she drove all the way in and scored. Stein averages 3.5 steals a game. She's a very dangerous player. And looking at her, you wouldn't guess that she's only 5'6", looking at her from my vantage point up here, at the media table. So now, no good on a driving jump shot there. Hannah brings it down, behind the back dribble, tries to lose the player guarding her. Olivia with the ball now near midcourt. Over to Carly. Now to Trinity. To Hannah. Inside, puts it up off the glass. She hits it. Amelia Bryant with 5 now, cutting the lead to 7. So Cascade suddenly run off 4 in a row. 5:34 to go. There's still a small chance for them to come back and get this. Now a sloppy pass, and it goes out of bounds. I think it was last touched by South Putnam. Let's see. I don't see any announcement yet. Okay, it's to Cascade. Good. Let's get some points here. Hannah for 3. No good. Rebound by Trinity. She puts it up. It's knocked away. No foul. That was I thought there was quite a bit of contact, but no call there. Nevertheless, Beegler with the ball. Drives in, pitches back out to Stein for 3. No good. Rebound by Beegler, though, and she drives to the basket, and she travels, though. So good break for Cascade. But they only have, they're under 5 minutes left, 4:55 to go in the fourth quarter. They trail 38-31. Low-scoring game. Fatigue, I think, definitely a factor. Oh, bad pass. Intercepted by Stein, and she puts it in. At least 6 of Stein's game-high 18 points coming off of steals. That was just slop. That pass was. So now another steal attempt knocked out of bounds to Cascade. The Lady Cadets down by 9, 4:38 to go. And now it looks like Stein is hurt. Looks like maybe she might have gotten a hit in the nose. She's being attended to by a player on the and now one of the officials is talking to one of the coaches for South Putnam. So Stein, it looks like she's standing behind the bench now, being attended to. It looks like there's a tissue or something being held up to her nose. Hopefully she is okay. Hopefully it's nothing serious. But I'll tell you, when you play as aggressively as they do, you're likely to take a few bumps. Trinity with the ball now, but then they got to reach in. I think it's going to be on Caps. That's the third on Caps, and it's too bad that I think we really made a mistake by not continuing our early strategy of driving in, because we could have really gotten South Putnam, either gotten them in foul trouble or gotten them so they weren't being so aggressive, and we were able to get more makeable shots, on the inside, rather than going for a lot of outside shots, most of which have not fallen. And now a near steal there. Olivia with the ball. It's to the point now, I'm not crazy about Olivia shooting a lot of threes, but it's to the point now where that might be our best option. Now Carly drives to the basket, however, puts it up, no good. Rebound there by Hill. And now under the midway point in the quarter, Beegler drives in, and she tries to, I think she drew contact in the act of shooting. 3:54 to go, South Putnam by 9. So now Olivia sitting down. Let's see if it's, and now Trinity sitting down as well. Taylor Norris sitting down, so 3 starters sitting down at once. Let's see if Coach Carpenter maybe has conceded the game. Beegler now right off Beegler nails a jump shot on the inbounds pass. She has 6 now, and it's an 11-point lead once again. 3:45 to go. Cascade, not much chance now. Hannah still is in there, so is Amelia. Now Katie, now a 3-pointer there. No good. And now they got a foul against Schmidt. They got her on the foul going for the rebound. So now South Putnam with the ball, an 11-point lead. And now loses control of the ball, and it's knocked out of bounds to Cascade. 3:19 to go. So Hannah with the ball. To Cascade. And now, it looked to me like Hannah got hacked there. This reminds me a lot of the way South Putnam played in their sectional win over us last year. Nevertheless, it's going to be a foul against Van Isle, and Hannah will be going to the free throw line. And now Olivia set to check back in probably for the rest of the game. So apparently Coach Carpenter hasn't quite conceded yet. Katie Cleveland sitting down. Hannah only 3 points tonight. She's had she's had overall, by most standards, a good season. It's just not the breakthrough season that I think a lot of Cascade fans expected. She hits the first free throw, but only 4 points in the game. Still, averaging 14.5 points a game. She hits them both, cutting the lead into single figures now, down to 9, but only 3:08 to go. Hannah, at 6 feet tall, averaging 14.5 points a game, should be playing collegiately a year from now, though. It'd be great if she stayed in state like Bailey Walker and Michaela Collier did at Franklin and Goshen, respectively. So now Beegler with the ball, under 3 minutes to go. She drives, finds a wide open player under the basket, and she lays it in. And now that was number 4, who's not on the roster, and we got a foul there. We got to reach in against South Putnam. 2:46 to go. So Norris will be going to the free throw line. Taylor Norris has had some good games, off the bench, and then since she moved into the starting lineup, but only 2 points tonight. Really, nobody has played particularly well for Cascade tonight after that double overtime game last night. Taylor, now that she hits it, but only her 3rd point of the game, cutting the lead to 10. 2:46 to go. And she does hit them both. She has 4 now. So Stein brings it past midcourt. And now is Cascade going for some steals. And now we got a whistle here. And Cloverdale takes a timeout with 2:33 to go in the game. And South Putnam leading by 8, 44-35. So, basically, if you listen to me regularly, you know that, a few things. Nobody loves the Lady Cadets more than I do. And you know that I do, I'm not shy about saying, when one of the players or the team as a whole does something wrong. But, you also know that I try to be fair and balanced, at all times. And, I liken myself to a loving parent who loves his kids unconditionally, but knows that part of loving them is acknowledging when they do something wrong. So, but at the same time, though, there are excuses and there are facts, and to say that this game probably would have turned out differently had Cascade not played last night is a fact. So this you have to take this loss in context if it ends up being a loss, which is not certain but probable at this point. So now Cascade's still competing hard, though. Stein, guarded by Olivia. Olivia playing with 3 fouls. Now inside to Caps. Puts it up off the glass, and she hits it. Caps with 11 now. One of 2 double-figure players in the game, Stein being the other. So it's an 11-point lead, a little over 2 minutes to go. Not much to do but put up threes now. I hate that strategy, but that's about the only realistic chance we have at this point. And what's ironic is that Olivia's usually not shy about putting up a 3. Well, now that one, I believe it was Gibbs, but it was no good. Nevertheless, Beegler comes away with it. And she tries to take it, and then she finds Caps wide open but misses the easy bank shot. So Cascade, lucky break there, but they're still down by 11 with under 2 minutes to go. Now drive up to the basket, sloppy, but they got a charge there against, who was it? I believe it was Taylor Norris. Schmidt, excuse me. Okay, so Olivia and Emilia both sitting down. I think that, someone, I believe it's Sophia Bryant who's sitting down as well. I think that Carpenter has conceded the game now. His team trailing by 11 with and then Alex Bratcher hits a free throw to get her first points. Disappointing but understandable game. She misses the second. So 1:26 to go, not much to do but put up threes now. And there's the one that's good by Schmidt. She has 8 now, which, believe it or not, ties for the team lead along with Olivia. Quick timeout. That does cut the lead down to single digits to 9, but only 1:19 to go. So, again, disappointing but understandable. Okay, I just found out, I looked on Max Preps, number 4. The player who wears number 4 on South Putnam is Chloe Custis. She is a freshman. So, 5'4" freshman, so I'm sure South Putnam hopes that she'll grow a few inches, although they've got some girls like, Beegler, at 5'3", and Stein at 5'6", who do very well despite being, rather undersized. Now, pitch into Beegler. In fact, one thing that made South Putnam's 12 offensive rebounds against us in the sectional last year was what made it even more disappointing is that we had an 18-inch height advantage of the starting lineup. So now 1:03 to go. Caps over to Beegler. Now over to Bratcher. We'll see if Cascade fouls to try to, make some last. Now we got a steal by Katie. She tries to take it all the way in. She puts it up too hard, though. Nice effort, though, but, Cascade does come with the rebound. Now faked on the three-pointer. I think she got away with a travel there, but anyway, drive to the basket. She puts it up and fouled with 40.8 seconds to go. So Cascade will at least get a chance to cut into the lead. Foul on Beegler, her third. Emma Parsons now to go to the free throw line. First one is up, no good. Parsons, a freshman who played quite a bit in that double overtime game last night. But, Katie Cleveland, though, I really give her a lot of credit for that steal and drive to the basket. And Parsons misses them both. And the loose ball, but Beegler comes away with it. But, if Cascade had a girls' football team, Katie Cleveland would be a starting defensive end. It's amazing that she moves as well as she does with her size. And speaking of that, you got to check out Haley Nichols, Avon's center, the 5'11" sophomore. She's built the same way. I've covered both of Avon's winners bracket games in the Hendricks County basketball tournament for WYRZ a couple of weeks ago. So now Beegler with the ball, under 30 seconds now. They very well could run the clock out. I don't think Cascade is going to try to foul, although they are still going for a steal. I mean, it was a real steal attempt. So 20.7 seconds to go. Cascade trailing by 9. Disappointing but understandable loss. Beegler going to the line. So Beegler hits it. She has 7. Lead back up to 10. And make it 11. She hit them both. Well, disappointing, yes. Crushing, no. Parsons now with the ball. Pitches out. Katie Cleveland for 3. She hit it! She has 6, all on threes. Now we got to steal the inbounds pass, but it's controlled there by South Putnam. 6 seconds left. And now it's steal there by Cascade, but there's a foul there. And so South Putnam will be going to the free throw line. No good, and now we got a timeout Cascade as Katie gets the rebound with 5 seconds to go. So Cascade with one more shot to cut into the lead a little bit. So now Parsons brings it down. Oh, now puts up, she lost track of the time. Oh, well. Disappointing loss for Cascade, but understandable. An exhausted Lady Cadets team falls to South Putnam by a score of 49-41 in the Western Indiana Conference crossover game. We'll be back with a recap and a look ahead to tomorrow's extravaganza with the boys and girls both being in action. After these words from our sponsors on audiosportsonline.com. The Cascade High School Athletic Department simply would not be able to operate without the financial support of our business partners. We would like to recognize and thank them for their generosity. The official health provider to the cadets, Hendricks Regional Health, Diamond Partners, Bestway Drywall, and North Salem State Bank, Platinum Partners, Allen Irrigation Company, CJ's Pizza, and Dunn Insurance Agency, Gold Partner Endeavor Communications, Silver Partner Electric Plus, and Bronze Partner Hankey Photography and DMH Photographics. Thank you, business partners. Your support of the student athletes of Cascade High School is greatly appreciated. Well, back here at Clayton for a final time tonight, where your Cascade Lady Cadets have had a disappointing but understandable loss to the South Putnam Lady Eagles in the Western Indiana Conference crossover game by a score of 49-41. Cascade played a grueling double overtime game last night in which they came back from 18 down to win at Cloverdale, and it showed in this game. They played like a team that was scorched out. And then, not only that, but I think because there were far more substitutions than normal, I think the team had a hard time, with its chemistry for that reason. And, it was just an uncharacteristically sloppy game by Cascade. And, even though they struggled on offense a lot of the season, especially outside of Olivia Bryant and, to some extent, Hannah Rasnake, it really, the offensive struggles really go back, in this game went back even, I think, worse than their early games of the season when they really were struggling to put points up. And I think if there was one mistake, not counting, just nitpicking and, pointing out one or two bad plays here and there, which there were a few of those, but not an alarmingly high number, especially considering the mitigating circumstances. But I think the biggest mistake that the Lady Cadets made in this game is got away from their first quarter strategy. I mean, they drove like crazy in the first half, in the first quarter, They didn't take a lot of outside shots. They got to the free throw line a lot. They hit their free throws fairly well tonight. And, I think if they'd done that the whole game and gotten South Putnam in foul trouble, I think the Lady Cadets would have had a fairly good shot to win this one, especially if South Putnam really got a lot of their girls in foul trouble and therefore, afraid of fouling out, they weren't contesting us as much when we took it inside. And like has been the case more often than not this season, we turned to our outside shots, which just were not falling enough. And Olivia especially, she carried that game on her shoulders last night. And, we certainly would not have won it without her. She scored 34 points. An outstanding, performance. And, like I said, there's a reason that you don't normally schedule, even in the NBA, you don't normally schedule a game 3 days in a row. And it's because, you're just not going to get your best performance when you do that. And had the Cloverdale game gone on as scheduled last Friday instead of being moved to last night, so we didn't have to play the 3 games in a row, I really believe we would have won this game today. And, again, we beat South Putnam here 41 days ago. And I don't think I think Cascade's a better team now than they were then. I've seen their continued improvement. I covered their first game. I think this is my 10th game of their 19 that I've commentated this season. And I think, I feel like they've had very little, there are very few instances of regression where they didn't play as well where they didn't play as well as they did the last game. I think most games they've made an improvement that I noticed. And, especially that Northview game, the fourth quarter where we outscored Northview 17-0 after entering the quarter only up by 2. That was really a renaissance moment, I think, for the team. And, last night's win was spectacular, except obviously we didn't play well at the beginning, which is why we went down 18. But, there is one thing I want to say. While last night's win was a thriller, it should not have gone to overtime, let alone double overtime. There were mistakes that we made that let Cloverdale creep in it. And, of course, had we not played so badly in the beginning, had we brought our A game, played the whole 32 minutes, we wouldn't have been so tired tonight and might have had, I think would have had a better shot. I'm not saying we would have won. I'm saying we would have had a better shot at it, even playing back-to-back nights. And then I think Coach Carpenter, obviously, he wanted us to have something in the tank for Plainfield tomorrow. So it's disappointing that we did not get over the 500 hump. But after 0-6, it's great that we even got back, to the level ground to 500. We're 9-10 now. So when you go from 0-6 to, and then even your record at 9-9, that's a triumph. And the one thing I am concerned about, and I mean this is just more for, my own satisfaction, and probably for the players too. I think it would mean a lot to them. I would love for them to finish above 500 after the 0-6 start. I think that would be special. But the thing is, the next 2 games, both against very good 4A teams. First of all, we've got Plainfield coming in tomorrow. Now, unlike some of the past Plainfield teams, this is not a Plainfield team that's has a dominant player. They just, have a lot of girls averaging, they have 6 girls averaging from about 5 to 10 points a game, and they just have great chemistry. They got off to a slow start, 0-3 this year, but then they come on strong. Won the Hendricks County tournament with a big championship game win over Brownsburg, who's currently the number 17 ranked team in class 4A. So that's a very formidable opponent. And then, as if that's not enough, then on Tuesday night, we play another 4A team. I'll get to that in a moment, but just want to say that tomorrow night, tomorrow, basically it's going to be an unusual situation. I mean, not one that's never been done before, but one that's not done a lot. Basically, we're having 2 separate sessions tomorrow. At starting at noon, we're going to have a girls' varsity, junior varsity doubleheader against Plainfield. And then starting at 6, we're going to have a boys' varsity, junior varsity doubleheader against Indian Creek. So both of those games, but the 2 varsity games will be broadcast here on audiosportsonline.com. The pregame shows starting at 1:15 for the girls, 7:15 for the boys. And then, so I hope you all will tune in for that one. Like I said, Plainfield entering the game with a record of 13-6. And, like I said, they won the Hendricks County tournament a couple of weeks ago. Looked very impressive in doing so. And then at night, the boys will play Indian Creek, who entered the game with a record of 9-4. They're a 3A team. Their last game, they actually took Center Grove to overtime. So it should be a very formidable opponent that'll, help the boys, continue to get ready for, the playoffs. The boys, they've struggled without, Alec Alderson and Evan Birch, but they have played better as of late. Had a very good game Tuesday night with a win over South Putnam 63-48, which we brought to you here on audiosportsonline.com. That was only their 3rd home game of the year. Tomorrow will only be their 4th, so the boys team, really been road warriors this season, and if Cascade does win, it will be their first winning streak of the season. And then next Tuesday, unfortunately, you're going to have to do something that you don't have to do very often if you're a Cascade fan, which is to make a choice about whether you want to go see the boys or the girls. You weren't going to have to do. You wouldn't have had to do that if you wouldn't have had to have done that if last Friday's doubleheader had gone on as scheduled. But because of the 2 reschedulings, the doubleheader ended up being broken up, where we only had the girls last night, and then we're going to have the boys playing out at Cloverdale on Tuesday. We will not be bringing you that one because we're going to be broadcasting you the girls' game. But if you make the 20-minute or so trip west over to Cloverdale, it will be a real treat because Cloverdale sports the best, the leading scorer in the state in Jalen Moore. He's a 5'9" guard who averages 37.1 points per game. It has already signed to play college ball at Utah State. And you might remember him painfully last year because when he played here, we were tied in the final seconds, and Cooper Neese, who has gone on to Indiana State, the 7th leading scorer in state history, had fouled out. But on the last play of the game, Moore took it coast to coast, penetrated between a couple of Cascade defenders, and laid it in at the buzzer to give the Clovers the victory. So it'd be great if Cascade could, get a little revenge this year. But nevertheless, you will be treated to something special if you go out there. And hats off to all of you who went out there last night, for the early start time for the rescheduling of a rescheduling. And then that night on Tuesday, as I alluded to, we will be covering the girls right here for Senior Day against the Avon Lady Orioles, who are the turnaround story of the year here in Indiana high school basketball. They are 12-8 and are about to break a streak of 9 consecutive losing seasons. They have an outstanding nucleus of 3 young players, a couple of freshmen The team's led in scoring by 5'8" guard Zakia Rashid. Third on the team in scoring is 5'11" center Alex Richard, and then they also get a lot of help from their second leading scorer, 5'11" center Haley Nichols. That's an outstanding trio, and I think a couple of years from now they are going to be a top 10 team with that nucleus. So, but I hope you'll get out there. I'm not telling you not to go to the boys' game, but it's really agonizing. I wish I could split myself in half and go to both games, but I'm really glad that I'll be here covering the girls' game because it will be senior day, in which we will honor the senior class of Olivia Bryant, Amelia Bryant, Sophia Bryant, Trinity Hostetler, Hannah Rasnake, Katie Cleveland, and Abby Church. Of course, it will not be their last game at Cascade because the sectional is here, but it will be the game in which those 7 young ladies are honored. So, once again, your final score here tonight, South Putnam 49, Cascade 41 in a fatigue-played game, but the Lady Cadets will be back in action in just about 16 hours for Plainfield, and hope to see you all there then, and as well as in the evening for the boys against Indian Creek. Well, this concludes our broadcast. As always, thank you so much for joining me, and I cordially invite you to do so again tomorrow night, first at 1:15 for the girls against Plainfield, and then at 7:15 for the boys against Indian Creek. Until then, for AudioSportsOnline.com, this is Lec Zorn reminding you, there is a difference only you can make.